Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the Frontline Changes report for the past 24 hours. And we have some shocking developments, very surprising ones. You got to check it out soon. So over in Voschansk, this one I have actually covered during the situation report. We have some frontline changes coming from the Ukrainian mapping. So in the Ukrainian mapping in Voschansk itself, this is Voschansk. I turn off the black box first. Oops, press the wrong one. So the Ukrainian mapping have considered that they have lost a big chunk of Voschansk, particularly in the high density zones and the northern part. The entire northern part of Voschansk seems to have entirely fallen to the Russians, according to the Ukrainian mapping. Of course, the Russians have already declared the capture of Voschansk. So we have this parallel universe going on. This includes the straightening of the front line. The whole forest is taken by the Russians, and a tiny little bit of change, like it's just covered by the line. So there's the frontline change by the Ukrainian mapping. The advance is around 1.39 kilometers advance. So this is pretty significant, because I mean, with this, Voschansk is already entirely compromised, even if you disregard the Russian mapping. So that's the current situation in Voschansk. And for those that still do not know, there is two maps on DPA's mapping. So the pink one is the Russian perspective, the blue one is the Ukrainian perspective. So so understand, this is DPA is not your usual Ukraine war mapper. So over in the Taipei, this is also Ukrainian mapping. They have mapped that this entire region here. In fact, that's like a good most of Taipei and the entire northeast of it has been taken by the Russian forces as well. The advance here is around maybe 1 kilometers on average. Yeah, so it's not so very significant. To me, this area should always has been taken by the Russians. Yeah, but anyway, we have the Ukrainians conceding it, so that's not too bad. So that's all from Taipei, and that's the frontline changes in the Voschansk sector of the Kharkiv front. The next frontline change is one of the shockers. So in Kupyansk, the battle for Kupyansk, we have Ukrainian forces geolocated right in the center of Kupyansk, confirming the Ukrainians are retaking of some grounds inside of Kupyansk. So this basically invalidates the Russian claim that they have secured and captured Kupyansk. And this is also the reason why DPA's mapping works the way it works. We do not change just by claims, we change by geolocation or mappings. So, and the mapping, if the Russian maps the whole of Kupyansk, only the Russian mapping is going to affect. Ukrainian mapping will not. But the reality is that we don't even have a firm confirmation of the full capture of Kupyansk on our mapping. The only thing that we have going for the Russian claims was that there was no fighting reported at Kupyansk for a long time. So, but now do we have this Ukrainian advance being geolocated? So this shows that our mapping is actually not that far away from probable reality. And which is very interesting because you can have, as we see, this area here has always has never been mapped as Russian. So from this area penetrating to this new geolocated spot is not that far away. The advance here is at least 900 meters. So around 900 meters, 1 kilometer advance, the Ukrainians counterattack into the center of Kupyansk. So we shall see how this continue to develop. So the battle for Kupyansk is not over. Now, previously I thought it's over because of the lack of intel. But all we had was the Russian Defense Ministry's announcement and Putin's insistence that Kupyansk has been captured a long time ago. However, we at DPA, we follow the mapping. We know that that's not true. That there is no clear evidence that Kupyansk is entirely captured other than the Russian Defense Ministry announcement. So this geolocation basically corroborates that doing mapping is the right thing to do. The entire reason why I even started doing mapping on the Ukraine war was for this reason, because I don't trust anybody. that's the main thing. Because I don't trust mainstream media, which clearly we all now know that for reading mainstream media, we are all turn stupid. because we will be so confused with Russia is getting so many people killed, and they are losing or they are doing so badly. Ukrainians are so heroic, and Zelensky just said that the whole of the Pokrovsk they only lost like 150 people. Like you go stupid, wow, because at the same time then you will see that Russia and Trump is already talking about the surrender of Ukraine, and then it's like, what the hell is happening? You will get so confused. That's why I did the mapping, because I already know that the media cannot be trusted for the Ukraine war because of the bias against Russia. But clearly, I also do not trust Russia, because Russia is Russia. The Russia is not some heavenly kingdom, country that drop down from the sky. It's not true. Like Russia is also well known to have pretty bad corruption, which is why Putin was very famous in various viral clips of him staring down and putting the oligarchs in their place. And that doesn't mean that there's no more corruption in Russia. Clearly, all the Russians also know that there is still a lot of corruption in Russia, because Russia is just a huge country. So there's nothing new about these things. And I've always mentioned that the Russian claim of capture is not always accurate, and this geolocation just shows exactly what it is. So I hope the people who follow me do understand and take into consideration. Particularly, I know a lot of you guys are pro-Russia, because there's literally not much pro-Russian channels out there, and the best thing you can get is a neutral channel. Or maybe you can watch Whip Union, or you can watch Military Summary. I'm not sure how pro-Russia is they are reporting, but my feeling is that they are pro-Russia. But anyway, for DPA we are as neutral as possible, so just understand that you may feel very frustrated with certain mapping, but there's a principle to this. There's a reason to why we do all this mapping this way. So yeah, that's what it is. And so that's all from Kupyansk. A lot of a very long sidetrack, as I go on the narrative, rhetoric or whatever. The main reason is because you guys don't watch sit rep. So you see, I have to talk now. So anyway, at Siversk, the next frontline change is at Siversk. The rhetoric is based on Russian mapping. Rybar actually mapped that the entire defense line on the eastern part of Siversk has collapsed. The entire defense line that is defending the eastern part of Siversk has allegedly taken by the Russian forces. Oh my god, I actually should go a bit leftward. There's no such thing as leftward. I'm just not using my own language. So yeah, so this advance here is around 1.8 kilometers. That means the entire defense line is undefended. The Russians just basically walk through, because previously we only just have a geolocation not too long ago. That was like yesterday or the day before. So the Russians basically overrun the position. But the real reason why this area it has just collapsed very quickly, just in case you don't watch the sit rep, is that the Russians was already here, and they have a very strong position in the south. So most likely they have already attacked into the entire eastern part of Siversk. And this means that any Ukrainian forces that is defending along this line will not be able to be reinforced, rotated, or resupplied. So Ukrainian forces probably have already abandoned position as a result, prior to being encircled. So this is probably why the defense line has been abandoned. That's what I think. So anyway, but of course this is just a claim. We just take it a pinch of salt for now. Moving, but I'm just saying that there is logic to it. It's not like impossible. The next frontline change is over in Pokrovsk. In Pokrovsk, in the north of Pokrovsk, the Russians the Russian mapping, Rybar has mapped that the encirclement is now complete. The Ukrainian forces, according to the Russian mapping, is entirely encircled over in Svitlay and Myrnohrad. So the Russian forces, according to them, has taken all of these grounds in the north of Pokrovsk, entirely encircling the forces in this sector here. So I'm going to zoom in a bit, so that you already see this encirclement. The depth of the encirclement is 4.42. Like this is the door is actually pretty thick, so of course they can actually go through here. But this is a pretty thick door, and the closure is around 2 kilometers on average. So Russian forces have taken all of these areas, which I did mention prior before that this is nearly impossible to come through. Like the Ukrainian forces trying to walk into this valley of death, is dies, because it's a valley of death. If it's a valley of lust, then you'll get very happy. If it's a valley of sweetness, you'll get diabetes. So if it's a valley of death, you'll get you cannot hear anything. So anyway, that's the frontline change in this sector here. The parallel universe is insane. This is the two claims, Russian and Ukrainian mapping is drastically different. So let's see how these continue to develop. But I will definitely prefer to have some geolocation to confirm these encirclements, but we are pretty close to that. We are pretty close to that. So the next frontline change is at Dobropilia over in the Hulyaipole sector. This is another of the interesting one. So we previously have this Brontosaurus coming up here, and it's like unhappy. And then after that, they got the head got chopped off now. So because Ukrainian forces has been geolocated inside of the Dobropilia, and these two geolocation confirms the Ukrainians return into Dobropilia, have taken back control, at least part of it. The rest is still on Russian claims, and this also seems to suggest that the Russian forces may be very overextended in this sector here. So again, my mapping is that the Russians came from here, and if they came from this position, as you can see, this is the confirmed front line. This sector here would be a bit far. This sector will be a bit far to reinforce a bit. So I don't know why my computer is lagging. Oh my god, my mouse is lagging as well. So yeah, so you can see why reinforcement will be difficult. But if you believe Russian mapping, then this looks a bit ugly, because how do you have your defense line entirely broken by the Ukrainians like this? So we shall wait and see how this goes. There is a geolocation of Russian forces in the south over here, a very tiny change. So this triangle here is now under Russian control, and so that's all. These are all the frontline changes in the past 24 hours, and let's use Pokrovsk as the background, because this is a bit interesting as a background. So we have the frontline changes. So the Russian forces yesterday captured 11.25 square kilometers. The Ukrainians did not capture anything yesterday. So let's calculate the Ukrainians one first. 0.84 plus 1.46. Total area captured by the Ukrainians is 2.3 square kilometers, which is a good respite of a long time that has no capture. The Russians, however, still captures more. We have 5.67 plus 2.96 plus 8.74 plus 0.22. Total area captured by the Russian forces is 17.59 square kilometers. So yeah, so we still, I think it still feels a little constipated, I guess. Let's see how this continue to develop the next day or two. Maybe we'll have another big chunk of grounds lost to the Russians by the feeling of it, because this is this number and yesterday's number is a bit below the tide of war. But anyway, let's see. The Ukrainians are doing counterattacks. Hopefully, it's worth the sacrifice, but probably not. Thank you for watching. Happy birthday to you. If your birthday today, press the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next update.